Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Women in Ministry TV. My name is Brenda Alston, and this is a time and a session where we want to always encourage you, motivate you, inspire you, enlighten you in every way to be the best you. So let's get started tonight. I'm excited about sharing some things with you. Our session tonight will be on focus, a refocus. Let's pray. Father, I thank you and I just praise you right now for this session. I thank you for your word, which is alive, that it goes out and accomplishes the things that it was sent to do. I thank you for the words of life that you will be shared tonight, that it inspire, rejuvenate, others as they hear it, regardless of where they are, and regardless of what format they might hear it. I thank you, and I just praise you now for wholeness, genuine, um, being genuine in who we are in you. I thank you and I just praise you right now for that person, Lord God, that is looking to further themselves in a way and just need that little bit of encouragement to move forward and how to move forward. I thank you and I just praise you right now for giving them the things that they need, giving them the strength, the grace, the courage, the confidence to continuously move forward or to move forward, to come out of places and do things that they've never done before with your help. In Jesus' name, I give you praise and glory and honor. As I said, as we started our session this evening, I want to talk to you about focus or refocus. Over the last few months, there have been times when um, I've encouraged you in various ways, and I want to continue in that vein, but sharing with you about maintaining your focus or refocusing and getting back into that lane or vein that you know that causes you to move forward in whatever that is you might be doing. It might be a lifestyle change, you taking a course. It might be you coming out of your comfort zone and going places that you've never gone before. And you just needed that little push. And that push could have been an example that was shared, whether it was by you watching one of the segments or by something that you heard or saw someone else do. However, we want to keep that momentum. We want to keep that movement as to where we come out of that place where we were, that we find ourselves doing things that we dreamed of doing. And that dream could have been just you sitting up one day watching someone and say, you know what, I believe I can do that, or I would like to do that. Let's do a little review on focus. What does focus mean? Focus is a point of concentration, a main purpose, or an interest. It also can be defined as to be directed at something specific, something that you will direct your attention to, um, such as a camera, a lens. The cameraman focused the camera on a particular tennis match of how the person was um, actually standing on the line or beyond the line, and it showed them in error as to where they lost that point, or it showed where they were not standing in error, and it gave them the point. So in that, the camera focused on that particular image. And just to be more specific, for instance, at the beginning of the year, or as things begin to um, open back up, you know, in the, say, for instance, city or your job, the building might have, a facility might have opened up, restaurants might have opened up. You might decide to go on a vacation, and did as those things begin to open up, you begin to set goals, or you might have reset your whole lifestyle in as far as the way that you would do things. And as you, say, for instance, look at the first 6 months. Okay, we were, had a momentum going. We shared, continue doing what you're doing. We talked about how to put those things together. Uh, but now I want to take that time, because we are on the next half of that. Say, for instance, looking at a 12-month, we're on that next half of a 6 month, of the second, say, 6 month cycle of that 12-month, quote unquote, year. So if you have those goals, or you have decided to, you know what, I didn't do it the first 6 months, but I'm going to do it the last 6 months, then let's look at that and establish ourselves in that um, goal, our goals, and say, okay, you know what? Let me look at what I did uh, the last 6 months. Well, you know what? I did 3 months. I gave myself 6 months. However, I obtained my goal in a 3 month time frame. So you might want to increase something. Say, for instance, I completed an e-learning course within 3 months, but I gave myself 6 months. So I could possibly do two e-learning courses that had 6 months each to get certain things done or accomplished sooner than I had planned. That's where you've gone back, and now you are evaluating where you are. You know that your focus, your study, your momentum is moving. You also find out, oh, you know what? I can do things a little bit. I'll say it like this: I'm more organized or disciplined than what I thought in certain things when I set a goal. And sometimes when we find out that we will write things out, or put certain things, have a vision board, or write certain things out to yourself. Like, say, for instance, for myself, every week or every month, I will write out various tasks that I have for that month to do, whether it's various reports I need to uh, generate or prepare in whatever kind of format I need to prepare, whether it's other documents that I need to pull or review. I write those things down, knowing that, okay, the second week, that Monday of the second week, I need to make sure that I have these certain reports completed and distributed to the various ones that are in need of it, or uploaded into a certain system as to where certain attendees can look and see, oh, my credits that I earned are in the system. Yes, they were reported within that amount of time frame that I was allotted. Sometimes certain timelines for participants are, say, those who are earning a certain amount of credits for, say, relicensing. They have to have a certain amount of credits within, say, for instance, a 3-year cycle, or a yearly cycle. Some uh, accrediting bodies require their say, members to actually renew every year. That's their requirement. They have to have X amount of credits yearly. Some are 2 years, some are 3 years, 5 years. Project managers, some is renew every 3 to 5 years. Some 2 years, depending on what kind of certification they have. But getting to what we're saying, what I'm speaking in reference to tonight, we're looking at our goals and saying, okay, hey, I can actually increase this and take another step forward in what I'm accomplishing because I'm moving at a pace, not in the sense of not moving in a pace that I cannot move forward in, not moving in a pace that is causing me to um, be frustrated. It's not causing me to second guess myself. I'm moving at a pace as to where I know that I'm able to maintain the things that I'm doing, but I can also increase because I have that space. I can see that I can, at this time and season in my life, I can do those things. So, in evaluating your goals, evaluating certain things that you have purpose to accomplish at this particular time, as things have began to open back up, you're looking at it and saying, okay, I'm moving at a whole nother pace. Uh, you're not looking, say, for instance, you're not being distracted by how someone else might be accomplishing certain things or even how they might be moving along. You know, you're moving at your pace, not their pace. You're accomplishing those things that you have purpose to accomplish, um, and your picture is different from their picture. But if you begin to look at how their picture is looking and look back at yours, you know, in a negative way, then that can cause you to be distracted. That can cause you to lose momentum. That can cause you to just like give up altogether. When no, they are moving at their pace, their picture and vision is totally different from yours. The energy and everything that they're putting into theirs is not yours. It's not your energy. And sometimes if we're looking to the right and we're looking to the left, and people might be moving right along and doing certain things, no, because they can look at you and wonder the same thing. You know, they can look at yours and think, um, why am I, moving so fast? Why am I, not knowing that they are moving at their own pace? So let's stay focused on where we are and the way that we're doing things and increase our level as we need to, not based on what someone else is doing. We can always be encouraged. We can always be motivated by others. However, you don't want to ever try to get in their lane and start doing things as they are doing it in order to accomplish your thing. Let them inspire you, let them motivate you, but don't take on what they're trying to do unless it is something that you know, like, hey, this is what I've been called to do as well. Let me learn some of the lessons, gain some of the wisdom and insight from them in order to accomplish and move forward continuously in what I am moving towards. So that's what I want to share in reference to focus. However, on refocus is a whole nother. You're off. You have moved away. That's why you dropped your goals. You left. You just gave up totally altogether, and it's just like you changed your direction. You got to looking at it in the other lane. Uh, uh, when it was time for you to catch the baton, it dropped. You wasn't ready because you took your focus off what was really important. You started watching those that had passed you, or you just started looking at something altogether. For instance, I'll use myself. Brenda refocused her energies toward towards a career in music. instead of looking at, say, for instance, writing. Brenda's focus was writing, but now she has put all of her energy and time in a career in music. Music was never something that she really had a desire for, aptitude for. However, she saw someone else doing it and she just lost focus. For another example would be, um, say, for instance, you have a child that you might know, or even a college student, and say, for instance, um, they their attention for their schoolwork was just off. They were no longer concerned about their grades. They were no longer concerned about um, going to class. Their attention um, was focused totally on something else, probably being having friends and being a part of, a group. It was more on sports, more on being with the popular kids on campus. It wasn't they was not focused. Their attention was not on their schoolwork. So those are just some examples, and even I want to take it a little bit farther. For instance, let's take a look at how the businesses things have opened back up. Some businesses have evaluated their workflow. They have evaluated their human assets, and our human assets are meaning their employees. Some need a lot more employees based on how they've had to restructure their, say, for instance, restaurants restructure how they serve people. And now they need more people than they previously needed when 2 or 3 years ago. You take, say, for instance, corporations. They found out that certain meetings that they were having in person, they don't necessarily need to have those meetings in person, because now there was such a pull for virtual meetings that they found out they had more people attending the virtual meetings as opposed to even um, having people come face to face. So there was some adjustments there that they made. The overhead that they was spending for face to face, they found out, you know what? We saved a lot of money by going virtual, even though they might have eventually at the end of last year, things were, say, had opened up some in some places and they had meetings, but they didn't have as many as they um, have had previously. They did the last 6 months. They redid another adjustment, and I mean another evaluation, and saw, you know what, we have had. Um, Normally we have 14 face-to-face meetings. This is just an example. Normally we've had 14 face-to-face meetings, live meetings. Um, However, the number of attendees that we would have with the 14, we doubled in our virtuals, and we've only had 4 virtual meetings in the last 6 months. So they will look at that. What's more profitable for them? How can they make the adjustment and still meet certain things that they need to meet, or continue to increase um, uh, profit as they move forward over the next, say, for instance, 3 to 5 years. Those are certain things that businesses, corporations are looking at. The arts and entertainment, how a lot of things, HBO, Disney, how they went digital as far as on-demand movies. Movie theaters are opening up. However, you have a lot more people who are watching on-demand movies at home. That they're able to watch are certain subscriptions to certain like Disney Plus, our other little Netflix, Hula, certain things that they are able to get now, as to where before they were going out, to certain places. However, I know for me, I always say it, and it's a part of the business part. Um, Print will never go away. There will always be something printed. However, you do see the high volume of digital and things that are moving, especially as generations move forward. The younger generation now is more to online, more the technology of reading, not just with the laptop, but on the phone, or what more things are, say for instance, available to them and us now to use, as opposed to 10, 15 years ago, it was print. You still have your print, but it's small. There's a smaller margin of, say, people who yet use the print, buy the print. Even as you go into your Millions bookstore, your Barnes and Noble, your bookstores that are on campus, you still have those, because you have some communities and schools, universities that yet have their textbooks that are hard copies, that are in some kind of printed format. So you will always have that in some kind of capacity being used. So those are certain, for instance, certain organizations or institutions that are evaluating how they used certain products over, say, within the last 3 years, how they will continue to use them. So we as a people, and I'm saying as a people, whether you male, female, whatever, married, single, whatever capacity or um, season you may find yourself in, whether you're young, older, um, you want to evaluate where you are. There are sometimes things that um, I take, for instance, myself. I remember I was thinking about something one day, and I asked myself a question, and I do. It's good to ask yourself questions. And the question I asked myself was, what the thing that I wanted, was it a need or was it a want? I'll say it again. Was it a need or was it a want? And come to find out, it was a want. It wasn't something that I needed. So it wasn't an emergency. It wasn't a necessity. It was something that I wanted at the time. And I'm grateful for that, getting that insight, because it allowed me to see some other things over the course uh, of, say, the last 3 years, that, what? I got that because I wanted it. And don't get me wrong, if you want it, you want it. I'm just sharing with you, giving you some things that you can look at and evaluate yourself, but don't make it law. You're not under the law. You're under grace. All right. So let's let's look at that and begin to look at some things and say, okay, that's a way for me to evaluate. Doesn't mean that I won't get it. However, I might get it 6 months from now. Let me focus on this right here, because this is really what I mean. I need to, say, for instance, take this course, or I need to redo a housing project, or I really need to put this aside. However, a year from now, 6 months from now, that you had said, what, it was on sale, I really wanted it, but I'm glad I waited, because, hey, I'm not in being stressed about getting it, knowing I also wanted to do something else. Is using wisdom, is evaluating and seeing, am I stressing over trying to get something just to have it? Or am I just waiting, because it doesn't mean that I won't get it? It's just that this season, this time right now, it's not a need, it's a want. Um, some communities have gone back and reevaluated how they actually serve their communities. You know, say for instance, some organizations where people volunteer, they have actually reorganized. Some of them have brought in more technology. So, say for instance, in senior citizens' home, they have brought in more, uh, excuse me, more laptops to get the seniors involved in learning certain things, um, and how to navigate um, the technology that now a lot of us have had to actually move forward and use, whether it's banking online, because certain facilities was closed and that was the only option, or going to the window, the drive-through, not the window, the drive-through. However, there are some that you do go up to the window on the outside, but you reevaluate certain things and say, okay, I need to get my focus back and focus on what's really important right now. For this season of my life, the way that I did life a year ago is not the way that I'm doing life now. It's not my lifestyle now. Say, for instance, I found out that I didn't need certain, say for instance, and I'll use, um, I didn't need certain products, um, say for my hair that I might have used a year, 2 years ago. I found out that I didn't need, it was only a certain things. I found out I didn't need to go in. I can go in if I want to. However, I don't have to go in to the shop and have my hair done. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy going in and have to the salon and having my hair done, but I found out it wasn't a need, it was a want for me. You have to evaluate for yourself, and that's something important. You're not doing something just because someone else is doing or trying to do it their way. You're looking at your lifestyle, you're looking at your goals, you're looking at the way how you do life and evaluating and seeing it. Is it enriching you? Is it moving you forward? Are the things that you have set for yourself? Some people haven't even set anything, they're just going from day to day. There is a lot more. You might volunteer. You might be in a season of your life as to where you can volunteer. There are many things that you can volunteer for to get out and just and be about and interact with people, have connection, and that interaction with people that rejuvenates, yourself, that causes you to serve others in certain ways that you didn't realize you was able to serve others. You might be, I look at myself, I'm working remotely. However, monies that I was spending going back and forth into the office, um, I didn't have to spend. I was riding the train daily. And I'm thankful for being able to do it. I enjoyed riding the train. It was downtime for me, as to where, moving, coming from the office home. By the time I got home, there were other little things, whether it was uh, working on another project that was not job related. I was able to refocus, and once I stepped into that area, I flowed. So it's certain things, we make those adjustments, we reevaluate our goals. Something that might have been a goal, you look at it and say, you know what? Right now, the way things are for me, I don't really have to use it. I don't really have to have that. So you let that go and you look and you see, you know what? If, first I had six goals, now I only have four. And those four are a part of where I need to go. It's will help me again and keep the momentum of moving where I want to go. And sometimes I'm not talking about always going to school. It just might be changing your whole lifestyle, coming out of your comfort zone. You might have been someone who really never ventured out of their your city that you lived in. You might have never gone to the movies by yourself. You might have never gone to a baseball game, a game by yourself. But those are certain things you're coming out of your comfort zone and you're doing things that's a goal. You know, I'm going to go to um, a baseball game. They have opened back up. I'm going to go to a baseball game at least once or twice a month. Whereas where before you didn't do that. That's available. You're getting out, getting interacting with people. You know, coming out of your comfort zone of, well, I don't know, maybe. You know, you're not singing that song anymore. You're getting out and getting involved and connecting with people uh, and enjoying life. That's a part of actually um, having certain goals, as well as whether you um, might be the one who do go back to school, get your degree, uh, get recertified for something, but you have refocused and understand and know I can do this. Let me get back in that place, get refocused, get back in the zone, so I can actually do what I need to do. This has just been a session that, like I said, is you making sure that you stay focused on your goals and where you're going and what you're doing, as well as you or someone, myself, making sure that we refocus on what's important, on what we're doing, where we're going, as to where we can yet maintain a momentum, regain the momentum in the various things that we have purposed to do for this time and season in our life. I'm so grateful that we have actually been able to uh, give you some, say, wisdom, some insight, and some ideas, some examples as to how to set some goals, what it looks like, and like I said, to continuously move forward at your momentum, at your pace, um, utilizing, say, for instance, your vision, looking at your picture, your vision board of what you want to do, not grabbing somebody else's vision board, not grabbing somebody else's picture and putting it up on your wall and you're trying to do it. You will always get frustrated. You will always give up and say, I can't do it because that is not what is really on the inside of you for you to do. And I'm saying it that way because I'm speaking to the people who basically have done that, who have basically looked and said, you know what, I keep trying to do this, so and so can do it, but I can, uh, I can't do it. And I'm saying, okay, well, what is it that you're trying to do? Well, I want to do what they're doing, but that's not what you really want to do, is it? And this is just me having a conversation, giving you an example of, oh, okay, this might be something I need to rethink. Let me look at how I've been looking at the things that I want to do. Am I looking at someone else? Am I trying to do it their way, obtain what I want, or move forward the way I want by grabbing hold of what they're doing? So just be aware of certain things. Take a good look. See where you're putting your energy, your time, your monies, certain things that you have. Say, for instance, whether it's you're looking at whether it's on the job, certain things you're making those adjustments. School, you're making those adjustments. Uh, you have retired, and but you want to volunteer, or you just want to get out and just enjoy life. Look at those things. Set some goals for yourself. Until the next time, love yourself, love others, the same as you love yourself. Also, remember, focus or refocus. That's our session tonight. See you the next.